Hans-ish?
Yeah.
Give a round of applause for Hans. Thank you, Hans. I'll play a little tune for you. Yeah, this is the second installment of the Schro Show. This is an old jelly bean jar I got from my grandfather. There's snakes in it. Yeah, we're here to talk about what is art, what is comedy, what is stand-up comedy, and also maybe what is sketch comedy. What is improv? Hello? Is this Clayton at the front? Okay. Yeah, I guess the numbers are good. Excuse me, I'm very parched right now. Gotta take a water. Unfortunately, Tim, the board of directors guy, could not make it in today. He's a big fan of the show. All right, well, I think without any further ado, I'm going to start the show. I don't really have theme music yet. Oh yeah, we're also sponsored by Terror Chat, 1-900 number to call to be terrified. If you want to call, it's not an actual company, but if you call 1-900-SCAR-ME with 2 E's, you can request a scary noise. After the show, you can use that phone. Without further ado, I'll introduce my first stand-up comedian guest, Josh Gibson. Hey everybody. Yes. Hey Josh. We'll just leave that off the hook. So.
No interruptions.
The CIA can listen to us.
Right.
And or FBI or.
Whoever else may be out there.
Yeah.
If they're really doing their job, we don't know their initials.
Yeah. You like my desk?
I think it's better than the last one. Yeah.
It's like it reminds me of the Tiny Desk concerts and
like you could be writing a concerto or a sonnet or something.
Yeah, it could have like a built-in screen and I'm just typing.
And like you're the only one who can see the screen.
Yeah.
The rest of us think that you're crazy.
But I could tilt it and then everybody sees it.
Mm-hmm.
Then we just bring in we fill in the rest of the seats with hard holograms.
So how many people in here are real right now?
Well, mostly all of them.
Okay. It has wheels and everything. That's great.
Is that a little too wheel for you? You like this thing? This is pretty cool.
What is it? Is that a die?
It's blank die.
It's blank die, so you roll a blank every time.
I wouldn't roll it, but you could.
Is it like Scrabble rules, where like the blank is anything you want, right?
Yeah.
I got a blank.
Yeah.
X.
You win and lose.
Triple letter score.
Triple loss.
So how's it going?
It's great. It's pretty good. How are you doing?
It's a fantastic week.
How's the audience doing?
Everybody's got drinks, right? Yeah.
Am I breaking the fourth wall too far? Is there a fourth?
I think it may be the 5th or 6th wall even.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. That's the floor, if you didn't know.
Yeah, how are you doing, Josh?
It's been good. It's been good. Finishing up school this quarter, man.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anybody else going to school? Yeah. Heroes. Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was getting nervous.
You can just run the show. I'm gonna
All right.
make a little
So, anybody see any good movies lately? What's the last movie you saw, Robbie?
I don't really remember. Like, in general?
Sure. In a movie theater, what's the last movie theater you saw?
Maybe it's the Wolverine movie.
That movie sucked.
I don't remember, yeah, it was pretty bad.
Cool.
Yeah, so where were you born, Josh?
I was born in Bremerton, but I moved really right away when I was very young, so I don't really remember anything about Bremerton. From what everybody tells me around here, that's like the best thing that can happen to somebody born in Bremerton.
It's not losing your memories of it?
Yeah, like I have no memory of it at all. I know that I was born there, but we moved to Virginia right away.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty good. Virginia? Are you from Virginia?
Not from Virginia.
Oh, where are you from?
I'm from Maryland.
Oh, man.
It's right next to Virginia.
Yeah, it is. When we crossed the line on the Beltway, we used to like get all nervous when we were driving because. More Maryland.
Crossing the line!
The Beltway.
Do you guys like political insider humor?
Yes.
I think this just in. We have a secret. There's a special person coming out. You should move down.
Oh.
I want to welcome to the show the world's tiniest faith healer.
Oh.
Welcome to the show. You've just come out with a new book entitled All Medicine, Congolese Medicine, the various and unequal practices of Doctors Without Borders. Could you tell us a little more about the book?
Yeah, sure. So I had about a year off recently, and I've been curious about Doctors Without Borders for some time. So I thought that I would go on a trip and visit the various locales where Doctors Without Borders has a strong presence.
Mm-hmm.
And I really initially was just interested in learning more about the organization. But essentially, what I found out was that their practices are very fragmented.
Mm-hmm.
And I put that fragmentation in terms of best practices. So what I saw across these various locales was that Doctors Without Borders really doesn't use best practices in every situation. But the strange thing is that when I went to the Congo, what I found out was they consistently use best practices across the board. Otolaryngology, best practices there means essentially Yale's best practices. That's John Spirou.
Yeah, that's
Marjorie Schmidt.
Mm-hmm.
Also when it comes to metabolic pathology, and there again it's Harvard all the way. That's John Smithson.
Yeah.
His work, excellent. But for some reason in the Congo, it was so random. They have, again, best practices across the board. So really the problem of the book is essentially I want to figure out why it is that best practices aren't used in every case, and also to uncover the obstacles to using these best practices.
Yeah, that sounds beautiful. Prophetic. Yeah, well, I'd like to thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
All right.
Hey!
We're doing good on time. The world's tiniest faith healer.
It's a good get.
Is a good get?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hard. He's in from Saipan, and It's,
I know his schedule's tough, so.
Yeah, it's tropical. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Let's bring out Mark Erickson. How about?
Well, I heard that there was a seating issue last time, so I didn't want,
We can pull that back.
this is, yeah,
We
'cause
only- we
it's
don't-
important that I'm comfortable when,
I guess so.
right? I mean, we wanna make sure that
You got it?
I'm eventually.
It's questionable.
No, it'll work, see?
Oh, geez.
Let me go around this way so I can, yeah.
Our indoor-outdoorsist, second interviewee. How's it going, dude?
I am glad to be here with all these lovely people.
You want to collect call? Pass the phone.
No. Is that legal? Here, Josh can answer that question.
I'm talking to the operator.
Is that-
I'm the operator.
Oh. Josh.
Yeah, there's no connection for you here.
Oh, yeah.
You're banned from making any phone calls for the next hour and a half.
Okay.
All right.
I understand.
All right.
We.
Call back in
You
90
need
minutes.
manager approval for that. Is there a
No, it's
Okay.
still on.
It's done.
Oh, well, I thought we had to get a manager approval for that, so. It's, you gotta have posture and you gotta be moving, you don't, sitting is
Yeah.
you're smoking, so if
Yeah.
you do this, it's exercise while you're.
Yeah, what if you're like sitting and smoking though?
Depends on what you're smoking, I think, is the.
Right. Cigarettes?
Yeah.
Rollies?
Sure, well, I think PCP would have a different,
What if you're like laying down, or you like dig like a foot hole and you just, you're like below the earth, you're like
Like a-
sub-sea level?
Is smoking not bad for you if you're below sea level?
Well, dirt's good for you, so.
well, there's a new study that came out. The internet said that if you smoke below sea level, you're twice as likely to have sex with someone you would want to, I thought.
The internet said that?
I was pretty.
If you're below sea level?
Yes, if you're below sea level.
Ah.
that's
It's because we evolved out of the water.
Yes, we're going back, we're going back.
Is this too highbrow?
Don't ask me so many complicated questions.
Okay.
You know what's really funny? Looking at that, of course, my mom told me after the fact that she apparently brought it a toy when I was a kid, and I screamed my head off, and it was an orange ball that looked like that, not that exact ball. This was plastic, and that's
Yeah.
not plastic, I don't think, or plastic looking. Oh, that's. Well, see, this one has its beak still attached, though.
Yeah, that's not a KFC chicken.
We'd like to think. It does, has like maybe it was, they took it aside and they wanted to save it, but then they taxidermized it, put plastic up its, but.
Yeah, that's the new taxidermy.
Yes.
But plastics are new.
Plastic.
In
Yeah.
taxidermies.
You can have this back in some Oh, it makes noise too, in addition
I'm gonna
to.
figure out how to make that happen again.
It likes you.
Thanks.
That could be your new prop. It's like a parrot, but it's.
I don't have a pirate's shoulder, so it doesn't stick very well.
Yeah.
Super glue.
It's okay.
Solve that problem.
I guess we could. Yeah, so where were you born, Mark?
47.052.857.122.84707. You're not writing anything, you're just scribbling.
That's not true. That's not
I don't care about
true.
where I was born, Robbie. More,
It's for the
more
audience.
specifically, I went to school in Olympia, and I was born there too. So,
Okay.
but I moved away because I understand, because I see what it's turned into, and it's not.
Yeah, what is? I mean, it is still
It's
the
a bunch
capital.
Of, it's a bunch
It's
of
the
like,
capital.
yeah, but it's a bunch of like
It's the
dilapidated.
capital.
It's a bunch of dilapidated buildings that just look like crap that no one's taking care of anymore. And like no one really cares. Like it used to be a cool city that everybody kind of gave up on. They're like, fuck this one's going to Portland. So.
Yeah.
But it's a nice place to visit.
Yeah.
Some of the time. Have you ever been to Olympia before?
Yeah.
Have you hiked up the Capitol buildings to look in that little? It's like a prisoner, but you
I
can
don't
see all of.
remember. I can't remember.
Do you not
the view.
climb? Would that be?
I climb. You mean like?
It's a spiral staircase.
Yeah.
It's like downward spiral except up.
I like that. Yeah, it's good. Upward spiral is a good. It's like reverse corkscrew, right?
Let's turn it upside down.
Oh man.
Right back when you
And
start.
then it's just an upside down spiral.
So gravity is invisible.
That's I've seen gravity things. Oh, you mean the actual gravity itself, not what it does.
Yeah, the
Yes.
philosophy. Yeah.
This chair has gravity and fulcrums and
Friction,
geometry
yeah.
and friction and
It's like a physics lesson.
wrapped in Teflon, made in China.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, there's no Teflon on here, is there? I don't know.
Probably.
I'm not trying to have like a cooler chair than you. I didn't want to assume that with this previous seating arrangement, I didn't want to.
Yeah, your improvising skills have anchored me.
You anchor well though.
I'm a good anchor.
Well, you anchor well, yes. You find your solace in your movement. I don't even know how an abacus works. When you said it, I was like, oh, it took me a sec to even realize what I was like, oh yeah. But I've had, shut up! Can't you see we're trying to, production? Yeah.
Embrace it.
I'm trying. I hope they get the help they need. I like your pants, by the way. Those are really shiny. Those are.
Thanks.
Are they
I got,
rayon? They look rayon.
I got tailored. I don't know what rayon means.
It means it has rays on it.
Oh.
Josh doesn't have rayon. I don't have rayon.
I think again, Clayton's calling me, and he says he's not in charge really, but I'm gonna. There is another special guest for us today.
That's nice to know.
He doesn't need a chair. He's a local.
He can use mine.
He's gonna perform standing up.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna welcome out. A man's gonna do a poem. It's Lee Smith, and he is Seattle's own post-surrealist vignette prose aphorist. Lee Smith.
The poem is entitled Post-Mortem Acne. Dairy and sagging eggplants is hardly dehydrated by helpless floor care. In order to build our monk kiln, we'll have to trim nothing's nethers. Mouths give medicine for buccal beaches. Resenting inconsistent geography, only exhaust knows. Also, cut chlorine for dispatched or earned shuttling of feathers on obvious knitting. The sun's interrupted at 12. Plants, please think to constipate jokes. At least kindling pairs single tunnels. Overweight kin heartily spring on many bubbles.
Hey, thanks so much, Lee. Lee Smith, Seattle's own post-surrealist vignette prose aphorist. Right, this is the next part of the segment of the show, but yeah, we're gonna have to make room for another man. Sorry to be so generous. I don't think he wants this though, probably. Do you want this? No, probably not. Do you want to keep this, Mark? All right, Mark is a stand-up comedian as well. I don't know if I said that. This next man is also a stand-up comedian. Welcome Brett Baker to the stage. Welcome, Brett. I guess I picked the wrong side for you, right?
Well, I can look at you.
Yeah,
So
okay.
it's just-
Oh, okay, I picked the right
These guys.
side, the correct side.
They're on my blind side, yeah.
And the right side, yeah. How's it going?
It's going fine, you know. I've had a nice last few days, I guess.
Yeah. And that's all that matters, right? The last few days? I mean, as long as it's going well.
It's kind of a Buddhist in the now thing.
Yeah. It's like Taoism, right? Or something.
Probably.
Yeah. I don't know either. I was in the Buddhist section at the bookstore, and I asked somebody like, "What's a good Buddhism book?" And he was like, "Well, that's like a very presumptuous question." And then he suggested 3 books, and I bought.
Yeah, you see, when I was in LA, I went to this temple, the Self-Realization Fellowship, and it's kind of a mixture of Hinduism and Christianity, and sometimes they'll quote Buddhist. So, you know, I've just absorbed all these things that I don't know exactly where they come from, but
Where was this?
the Self-Realization Temple in Los Angeles,
Okay.
California. Yeah, like I lived right by it, so it was really easy to
What
go there.
district was that in?
Hollywood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was when it was 10 minutes from my place in LA, it was really easy to go there. Now that now I'm up here, there's one like an hour away. Yeah, I'm too
Yeah.
lazy.
Hollywood, California.
Did your
everyone.
place did your place compartmentalize the same way that it had like Buddhist section, Hindu section? Like, he's got a pretty diverse place if you actually have like different sections within religion in your bookstore. Like,
Oh, what? It was half the price.
so okay, you had a specific Buddhist section separate of like the religious section.
In the bookstore, this was like an actual guru who founded like all these temples.
Okay, so it's a singular
Yeah.
person as opposed to like going. Okay.
Yeah, and you can get books by Buddhists and
Okay.
Hindus and but yeah, the center is but it all centers on this guy Yogananda. And why did I bring that? Like I went there for like a year. But, I mean, I'm not. Yeah.
It was like a
I'm not
a
like
practice.
her.
Yeah. You might be.
Just
That's
don't
part
know
of
it.
your
I
life.
just don't know it. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe you aren't. You know.
Where were you born?
I was born right in Highline Hospital, Burien, Seattle, and grew up here. Lived on the East Coast. Lived in LA. Came back here.
Where on the East Coast was it?
Providence, Rhode Island. I went to Brown for a couple years
Okay.
and didn't quite finish enough work and was kind of advised to go away for a while.
What was your major at Brown?
I was trying to do an independent concentration,
Yeah.
and it kept changing, and so I figured, hey, I'll take a year off to figure out what I want to do, and it became a decade, and then I went somewhere else.
What do they call that when you take a year off from school?
A gap year.
A gap year?
Do you have to shop at the Gap?
Hang out there.
You go to London and you mine the Gap.
I didn't have to do any of those things.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's good.
Yeah.
Have you ever shopped at the Gap before?
Yes, as a matter of fact,
Who hasn't shopped at the Gap, I guess is a better question.
I was wearing a shirt from the Gap just yesterday.
Nice.
Did you ever meet Michael Strahan?
I don't think so, no.
He's got a prominent gap. It's true.
This is probably like some kind of pop culture tidbit that I should know and don't.
Oh, we'll move on then.
Miley Cyrus shops at the Gap. I've heard. I mean, I don't know. I haven't like followed her around. Yeah.
So.
I like your shirt though. It's very Aztec.
Yeah. I I've always liked like Southwest Native American stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Southwest U.S., not
The airline.
Southwest Canada or.
Maybe I would. I don't know what their art is like, but
It's probably similar to here, right?
yeah, I would think.
Just on days that end in AY though, that's the.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I found out that Rob was going to be wearing a suit, so I thought I at least ought to wear a nice shirt. That's why I'm wearing this. That's all there
I
is to
feel
it.
like a piece of shit now.
It's okay, we'll be in a t-shirt.
Yeah.
So,
I like, that's a pretty cool looking banana you got there.
Yeah, it's probably it's organic. It doesn't really matter because I guess if
Apparently it's not, if it's causing that much cognitive dissonance. The chemicals inside, I can't acknowledge what I'm eating.
No, if it has skin on it and you peel the skin off and you're not eating the skin, then that's what I'm getting at.
I got you. I eat way too many bananas myself, so I get that.
I think I've eaten like 0 banana skins in my whole life.
Same here, I haven't either.
no,
But
really, have any of us eaten banana skins?
why would you? That's
Yeah.
really not sober, and that's about
That's where all the GMO is.
But did we ever come to any conclusions about gravity?
I don't think we came to conclusions about about gravity.
I worry that just since we can't see it, like it's just this joke that all the atoms are playing on us, and someday they'll just fly apart and go psych.
Yeah.
Like we'll watch this sun vanishing in this icy sky and go, oh no, which is. Sorry if I gave neurotic people another thing to worry about.
Well, I was in astronomy class and he explained that like this banana is not actually like sitting on the table. It's just atoms. Like.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's totally true.
But I
forgot
see
about
it
that.
sitting on the table.
Yeah, but you can't see the
Visual
atoms.
proof is conclusive. No.
Yeah, you're right.
Actually, all you see is other atoms hitting your eye, telling you. that
Yeah,
it's sitting on the
photons, in
table.
fact.
Yeah.
Photons bouncing off the forces between atoms. It's, yeah, I mean, if I.
I can snap too. I have the capability.
Morticia.
Is that a best practice?
I didn't get it.
Have you had that pen since you were a child?
No, but I could say I did.
It can't talk.
Visual proof again.
Yeah, we're on it.
Scientific.
We can't hear all
Study
sound
shows-
frequencies. We don't know it's not
Neil
talking.
deGrasse Tyson would not approve of that gesture. Okay. No, you can Morse code, and that would communicate. Do you know Morse code?
Hey, stop cussing, man.
Yeah. That's racist. That's racist Morse code. That's phone sex right there. You didn't even let it finish. That's not very nice.
Visual proof.
You can balance pretty well.
I once balanced 2 prisms and one broke.
So you didn't balance 2 prisms.
You're right.
Yeah, he attempted.
Maybe,
He
yeah.
attempted to balance two.
But you made a lot of smaller prisms when it broke.
If you want, I'll let you borrow my iron.
Why were you bouncing prisms?
I was just bored at work.
Okay.
How big were the prisms?
They're just like this by this, so like 1 by 6. I
Conventional prisms.
don't know. They were triangles.
Triangles?
It was a long triangle. Is that how most prisms are?
They're pyramids.
The pyramid, that's a 3-dimensional pyramids. What's the 3rd dimension? How do you?
What's a 3rd dimension?
No. What is the 3rd dimension of your period? Pyramid. Sorry, that was an unintentional misstep, right?
Like a end of
You have
sentence.
periods, you use them, but you don't have them. That's.
Okay, that was
I don't know what we're talking about.
I don't either now, it's just gotten.
Where to go from here?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's just,
Did you like Lee Smith's poem?
I did.
I thought it was very,
Yeah, what-
very technically correct.
Yeah.
Proficient.
It was deep.
Yeah, but he was saying something, but also like saying something more complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was complex.
That was my favorite part about it.
It was also kind of like wordy, and there was like pauses.
His turtleneck was nice too.
Yeah.
I don't know, I
Multisyllabic.
couldn't get a good view of his turtleneck. Now I'm sad about having.
I
to
don't.
know.
Yeah, I don't remember it, so it's okay.
Oh, okay.
No, I kind of. It was brown, maybe, and
Yeah.
had like.
I could have looked at it when we were all backstage, but I
Yeah.
just didn't seize the opportunity. And now I'll have to run after him if he's still here. See
Yeah.
that turtleneck?
Yeah, turtlenecks, man.
They never go out of fashion, you know.
Yeah.
Just where do you buy them? There's no stores really.
Amazon, I don't know. You can buy everything.
I think turtlenecks, I see them all the time.
Maybe the Gap.
Maybe. As long as they're.
We're not
fair
getting
trade.
money from. We shouldn't be saying. the
We
Gap.
shouldn't use real turtles for turtlenecks either, that would be detrimental to the ecosystem.
Mhm.
Real turtles necks.
Well, yeah, that too.
Well, if we graft the replacement neck from some other part of their body, then it should work out okay for us.
Yeah, I like that word.
That
I
doesn't
don't
make
know, I wouldn't feel that way if I were a turtle. I'd want those great big mean humans just to leave me alone.
Turtles are always bitchy and they always look pissed off. They snap at you. Have you ever seen like a friendly turtle that's like, oh, I'll play with you? I've never seen one.
Only if you have like leaves to give the turtle. But then they're mad at you as soon as you're out of leaves. So.
They're friendly if you get them wet.
That's what she said.
What kind of liquids?
Water, probably.
You say wet,
They like
that's such
Gatorade.
an It's got electrolytes.
All right, here's the part of the show where we take a question from the audience, or a suggestion. You can call in. There's a 1-900-SCAR-ME or
Dewey's.
with two E's. All right. Well, nobody wants to say anything. Yeah. The 5-minute warning.
Yeah.
Mark Goisha.
Have all you gentlemen met each other before the show?
Yeah,
No.
we met.
I mean, yes. Yes, we will
Yeah.
know each other.
We're not really supposed to
probably
talk
met
about
Well,
Brad.
what I mean to say is, before the actual, showing of the show, you seem like you've known each other before the show, but I was wondering if you probably.
Yes. Well, I'll take that
I was just wondering, that's all.
Yeah, I probably met Brett first, and then it was Mark, and then Josh.
conveniently the order that we are furthest from you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then, but first I probably met that
So
plant.
you'd call it a BMJ?
It's a friendship proximity.
Meeting of a BMJ, or no?
Brett, Mark, and, yeah.
That's
Sounds
what we
like
should
a
call the
sandwich
show.
or something.
When you do stand-up comedy, you end up, in this town, you end up meeting everyone else who does it in this town, if you do it with any frequency at all.
Yeah,
Whether you want to or not, you meet everybody.
unless
but
they're
there are
from a
people you
different
wish
town.
you'd never met, but you can't unmeet them.
So there's a guy named Sam Miller who runs the open mic in Olympia, and my coworker met this guy Sam, and Sam's like a recovered meth head. He's a big dude. He's awesome though.
If only his head.
He's kind of done like all the drugs. Hey, that was the 5-minute light, right? Or
No, I was
Oh, you were testing? Oh, okay. Yeah,
It'll be red.
anyways, I'm telling this story. Sam Miller, crazy dude.
Do you secretly want to do all the drugs?
All of them?
All of the drugs.
At once.
Am I supposed to lie here?
Well, you're just so true.
No.
The phone.
No, thank you. I mean, there's a lot of chemicals in your brain or your body, right?
Right.
technically they're all drugs. Yeah.
I guess, so this guy Sam Miller, he met my coworker in Olympia near a lake, and he had his shirt off, and he has this big tattoo that says "dance." Because at the time he wanted to dance forever. And that was pretty funny.
Do you have a tattoo?
I don't have any. My oldest sister has a bunch, and she has, when she got married, she has this HFW in the Helvetica bold outline, representing hard fucking work for marriage. Yeah,
Just tell it like it is, right?
I guess, yeah.
I have one tattoo.
I have one. Do you have any tattoos, Brad?
No, I don't. Tattoos became like really widespread about. I think if I had been like class of '89 to the class of '85, I'd have had tattoos.
Yeah.
I'm just a little bit too old to really get into that.
Fair enough. What's your tattoo of?
I have a picture from an island in Japan that I took a picture and had them make it a tattoo, so it's all Japanese looking. It's cool.
The islands in Japan look different.
Well, I lived in Japan for 2 years. I spent some time traveling around. I went to some places that people don't get to go to all that much. And I took a lot of photos, and one of them I thought looked really good, and I wanted to cover up this other tattoo that I thought was stupid. So I covered it up, yeah.
Is it like a, is
What'd you
it
cover up?
I had a radio show when I was younger, but it's not my name, it was somebody else's name. Because it's great. I started having this radio show.
Sure.
is it pirate
And,
radio, or was it
And it was like a comedic political show.
okay.
And people thought that I would sound smarter if I had a Jewish name. So, so they picked this name for me, and I agreed, and it went well for a while, and I just tattooed it because I was 17, and who gives a shit when you're 17?
What was the name? We all have to know.
The Peter Rosenberg Show. Yeah. Yeah, it was a good time. So that lasted for a little while, and after a while I
The
started
tattoo or the show?
the show.
Okay.
I'm going to use your armrest.
Yeah, I
by
was
the way.
gonna go ahead, please. By all means.
After a while I decided that I was tired of having somebody's name that didn't exist on my body
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
So I was,
Where is it?
it's right here.
Okay.
I could be inappropriate, but I think the club gets fined if I take my shirt off or something. Like, stripping rules in Seattle are really weird.
Yeah.
Maybe after the show I can show you.
I will say that if you do get tattooed, it's not, and this is for anybody in the audience that is interested in getting a tattoo, if you have a new one or you're looking at getting one, don't go out and go jet skiing the same day you get a tattoo.
That's good advice.
Yeah, I didn't know because I was 19 and stupid, so now my lines are like a little weird, and yeah, so all that bacteria gets in there and it doesn't make it.
That's on credit. So,
Yeah,
where did you go jet skiing?
Lake Washington. We had like the Kawasaki 550 SX, the stand-up ones. You had to
Did
be
you
a
say sex?
Kawasaki. Yes, sure. Kawasaki 550 SX, just a model number, like the stand-up ones. So you have to have proficiency. You can be almost in a coma on the sit-down ones and still go. But.
Yeah.
Is this for comas or sit down?
I just had it wasn't Moses Lake. That's a terrible place to go.
I was thinking about those, what is it, four-wheelers?
Oh,
You can't take those on the lake.
Well,
But it's kind of
technically,
the same impact of shock on your body. Just like-
yes and no. If you are going fast enough with the paddles, you can literally go over water if you have the paddle tires on a quad and make it through. But you have to, you can YouTube it, yeah, I'm serious. But it looks really weird, and you're basically sitting like way off it, you're just letting it go like that. And you have to be hauling ass and then go out, and eventually you do have to go over a short distance, then you can make it all the way over, but it is possible.
You have to keep hauling ass.
You have
the
kinetic
whole time,
force,
yeah.
yeah, and momentum to keep you forward. That's nice that Robbie's cleaning up and organizing.
Like already, yeah.
Yeah.
concerned for the people who work here. They have jobs and
Exactly.
they want to get home. It's Saturday, you know.
There's something on TV
You're really good at that.
Yeah.
It's like you've put snakes into jars.
Yeah. He was employee of the month at
Well, yeah, if you're gonna use it more than once, I guess you have to be able to do that.
What's in here? Think we're gonna end the show, but we have a commercial to end the show with, but I should also just thank everybody for being a part of it. I'll thank Clayton and the Pocket Theater and everybody in the audience. As well as Frederick Anderson, aka Charles Ives, for playing Lee Smith and the world's tiniest faith healer.
Oh, was that the same person?
Not
Hard
until
to
the
tell,
show's actually
yeah.
after.
Oh, okay.
It was Turtleneck Guy. And then
That was a great discussion.
Josh Gibson, Mark Erickson, and Brett Baker. Thanks for coming.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Indeed, thank you.